All right, Nabil Aziz, dropkickcopy.com, and I'm here with another case study interview with one of my fast becoming one of my favorite clients, William from WB Trading. We're not doing this in person. William actually lives in Dubai. You can see what is it? The islands. It's the palm, right? The palm in the background.
You can see the palm, you can see the World Islands, the beach. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, so he's balling on that side. He's in the baller side of Dubai. For the people who don't know you, why don't you just introduce yourself and tell us about WB Trading?
Yeah, no worries. So, WB Trading started back in, well, God, about 5, 6, 7 years ago now. It kind of grew organically through me as a trader, sharing what I was doing online. People basically began asking me for help. Long story short, the education business really built itself across the years and continues to build itself pretty organically. And that pretty much takes us to where we are today. It's grown slowly and steadily across coming up on a decade now to where we're at now. So multiple millions of dollars per year in revenue, really, really awesome team of 16 people now, which is really exciting, and including yourself as well.
Yeah, I'm glad to be a part of it. So just because people will probably get this question in your mind, are you one of those YouTube or TikTok traders, or are you actually a profitable, like legit trader?
Very good question indeed. Well, if you look at the YouTube channel, you're going to discover pretty quickly what side of the equation that I'm on and what side of the equation me and my team are on, the level that the product is on as well. I certainly would not class myself as a TikTok trader. That's for damn sure.
And we actually sent an email about this to your list. It's like the YouTube traders, they don't actually have to be profitable because the YouTube AdSense money that they're making off of their videos and whatever affiliate links that they're shilling, they don't have to be profitable. They can underperform the S&P and still make money.
Yeah, dude, it's a whole different story for those guys. You can see it as well. You can see it in their social media presence, in their channels, what they talk about, how they communicate about actually trading as well. So it's pretty evident who the profitable guys are, who the non-profitable guys are.
And so you have this unique spin on, well, it's not necessarily unique. It's like what the top 1% hedge fund people do. You have this unique spin on how you guys do trading. What is that?
I mean, it still astonishes me, but to this day, a lot of people still don't know what mechanical trading is, using essentially mathematics and statistics to prove and verify that what you're doing actually works. And what it also does in the way that we trade using mechanical rules is removes the guesswork, removes the predicting, the hoping, all of that side of things that comes with technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and that whole world that runs alongside what we do. But I actually learned this approach. I mean, I didn't invent it myself. I learned it from some of my early coaches and mentors, one in particular, the ex-Sangalucci Fund in New York, which is no longer running today. But that was where I learned this approach from. And the minute that I learned it was when my trading instantly changed, when I discovered really that you don't have to do that stuff that most people talk about, you know, and it actually, funnily enough, it's usually the stuff that most people do that doesn't work. And it's the thing that the few people do that actually works generally. And you see that a lot in all different facets of life. It comes back to the 80-20 principle almost. But yeah, that's basically what we do. It's still little known about, little heard of when it comes to mechanical trading rules, but we're very slowly changing that for sure.
So have you worked with copywriters in the past, and what's been your experience working with them?
Well, I haven't worked with copywriters. I've learned from them and really tried my best to do it myself. I actually remember I was watching an interview a good 5, 6, 7 years ago with someone who was talking about sales and marketing and stuff. And they talked about how the most valuable skill that you can learn is to write copy. And that's really the basis of everything, of the ads, of the funnel, of the sales pages, of just everything from the top down. So to answer your question, we never worked with a copywriter. I tried my absolute best to learn it. I did everything myself for a long time and got pretty far with that. But if there's one thing that I've learned, unless you're a true specialist in an area, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, it's always best to, if you're not going to nail it yourself and really go all in 100%, it's better just to hire a professional. That's one thing that's really helped us grow as well. I knew that I wasn't the best at ads, so I hired the best ad agency I could find. I knew I wasn't the best at sales, so I hired a great sales team and a great sales team manager and put that in place. And again, when it comes to copy, I found the best copywriter that I possibly could, yourself, brought you on board, and it's changed the business. So yeah, that's a piece of advice for any entrepreneurs watching, for sure.
So let's talk about your email marketing and your email list. What were you doing for your email marketing before you started working with Dropkick Copy?
So for email marketing, we would randomly fire out emails as and when we needed to try and get things like booked calls and do offers and things like that. We worked with a specialist from Keep, from Infusionsoft, that's helped us a lot, Lisa Cato. So she helped us to build a value stream for new incoming leads and nurture sequences for customers and things like that. That has worked quite well. It wasn't 10 out of 10 A-star, the best ever, but it worked well enough. But I think it was one of my mentors, a guy called Sam Ovens, that really pressed on me, and Alex Becker, actually, another one of my mentors, that really pressed on the importance of email. Good God, is that true? If you get email right, it changes the business. And if you get email wrong, it can actually destroy the business or severely limit the business, for sure. Even with because I coach a few other business owners now, and one of the very first things that we do is go down the email route. How many leads have you got? Are you emailing them efficiently? How often? What are the emails like? What's the call to action? Blah, blah, blah. It makes such a big difference, man. So yeah, we were doing it. We were doing it to the best kind of standard that we could, but we weren't doing it as well as we are now, that's for sure.
And do you have a general idea of how much revenue you were able to generate from email marketing before you started working with us?
I couldn't give you an accurate answer on that. I don't want to give you the wrong number, but compared to what we're doing now, systematically, routinely, with a proper plan in place, it's like night and day. It's like night and day.
Which leads me to my next question. So we were introduced, you were a referral from Kyle Silverwood of AdLeg, who's running your YouTube ads for you, and I think they're crushing it for you as well. I believe you're one of the testimonials on their website. So Kyle introduced you to us, and then we got to talking, and we started writing 3 emails a week for you, just hard sell, book a call emails, nothing fancy. And we were able to generate a bunch of calls. So what's the email marketing looking like now in terms of book calls, in terms of engagement on the list, that kind of thing?
Well, like I just touched on a second ago, now it's routine, it's done properly, it's systemized. One thing that is really important, not just to me, but in business in general, is predictability, right? And we've pretty much got that now. We know if we send 3 emails a week, we're going to get pretty much this many booked calls. Pretty much this many of them are going to close. And we see that in the maths, in the numbers, as the months roll on. We've pretty much built an extra profitable arm of the business through what we've done together, which is just incredible. We've done well into the 6 figures now through email alone. And that's on top of what the sales team do, on top of what the up and down sales do, and so on and so forth. So yeah, again, it's night and day what we've been able to build here.
And do you have an idea of what sort of range in terms of run rate we've added to your business?
In terms of annual, so we do roughly, without the numbers in front of me, I think we do an extra, let's say, $20,000 to $40,000 a month. So email alone, and we're still dialing it in as well. We haven't even revamped the value stream, which we're about to do next month as well, which will be a whole other game changer. But purely from the work that we've done in the last 4, 5, 6 months, it wouldn't be far off the mark to say we've added about $500,000 a year revenue to the business.
We're not doing anything fancy, right? We're just sending like very simple emails 3 times a week.
Don't downplay yourself, man. The emails are awesome. The emails they're awesome. They're really well written. And also, one thing that I love is that I just get to look them over and add my little mini tweaks to them before we send them. Because obviously, I've been a trader for almost 10 years. You're not a professional trader. So there's little mini gaps in terminology, but your emails are just awesome, man. I don't know how you do it. I really don't. It must take hours of research at your end.
So we're trying to, if it was taking hours, it would be unprofitable for us. So you know what I mean? So, but we generally, it takes us about, if we're on and we're like in flow, like it takes us 15 minutes to write an email. Maximum, it should take us about 30 minutes. But yeah. I have to say, those little tweaks that you add, and some of my other clients do it as well, like Kyle Solrud does it as well. It's like you're salt baying the shit. It just takes the emails to another level. And I just checked, actually, since we started working together, we've booked, and I know we've sent a few emails in the last week that haven't been tracked, but I think we've booked close to 900 calls.
Dude, mate, email is so powerful, man. It honestly is. Like, I always love it whenever I work with a business coaching client and I say to them, what are you doing with email? And they say nothing. I'm like, praise the Lord. My job is so easy to make them so much money. Like, dude, I worked with a coaching client a couple of months ago who was just not doing email right at all. We dialed it in across 4 weeks, more or less doing what we do. And we sent one offer, and the guy literally did. It was about $126,000 in a 4-week period just because he wasn't doing email properly. You know, it's mental.
Yeah, those are my favorite clients, where it's like they're doing zeros, so like I just have to show up and do anything and I'll get them like six-figure payday. Those are the best clients, where they're just completely ignoring email marketing as a channel, and then you just show up and you do whatever and you get them crazy results. Right. So next question, what were some potential hesitations that you have when you're trying to work with a contractor? Let's say it could be, in our case, it's email marketing or copywriting, but it could be for any contractor. What are some potential hesitations that you would have before you actually start working with somebody?
They deliver on their promise, essentially. And I think it works in all manners. I mean, the clients that work with us are thinking that when they come into us and we have to prove ourselves to our clients, it's always the same. Whenever I choose to hire a team member or work with a contractor, the first thought is, are these guys going to deliver? The second thought is, are they going to be a culture fit in, you know, how I communicate, how I work? Are we going to fit together and enjoy working together? That's number 2 as well, which is important. Very, very important, because relationship is important. And that's really it. Can they deliver, and will we work well together? And in the cases where those 2 things come together, it just works incredibly well, like it has here for us, you know.
So, I mean, you touched on it just now, but what has been your experience so far working with us and working with Dropkick Copy?
It's been terrible, man. I've hated it. No, it's been fantastic, dude. I've loved it. I mean, you know, you're an absolute gent. The emails are fantastic. They always come in on time. They've lived up to the promise. Smashed it out of the park. I couldn't be happier, man. It's awesome.
And I was thinking, remember that message I sent you? Hey, man, maybe we should start sending a little more emails. And they were like, no, the calendars are full. We have no space on the calendars.
Exactly.
And again, we're only sending 3 emails a week. None of this daily email stuff that a lot of people recommend. And you guys have great lead gen and great follow-up. So you're filling the calendars that way. And we're just like filling up the gaps, as it were, with 3 emails a week.
Yeah, dude, that's it. With our ads where they are right now, we fill, I mean, some days we just completely fill the calendar with ads, but in general, it's about 70% full, 80% full. And the emails are just that sprinkling on top that take them to 100%, and it's job done.
You've mentioned it a couple of times while we were talking, but what is your advice to business owners who are ignoring email or neglecting email marketing as a source of book calls and revenue?
So there's really 2 important boxes to tick. So box number 1 is a professional, reliable CRM, where you can house the data, build proper email streams and email systems. That's really important. If you're using MailChimp, just sort yourself out, get a proper CRM and start doing things properly. That's box number 1. And then box number 2 is the copy side of things. It's to write good quality emails that are well written, well laid out, blah, blah, blah. And if you put those 2 things together, it's like a money printing machine. It really is.
And obviously hire Dropkick Copy to write those emails.
Dude, that's box number 3. That goes without saying. That goes without saying.
All right, William, it's been great having you on. I thank you for taking some time out of your day to talk to me, and I look forward to continuing to work with you and filling your calendars for many more months to come.
Legend. Thanks so much, brother.